Hello everybody, this is AskJoshy, and this is another map callout video. This time we're going to be doing King's Row, which is the very first payload map in Overwatch history. So this room to the left side you don't actually normally call out very often, because right out the doors you can see if any enemies are there, and typically there's not going to be any enemies there because they're all going to be posted up in front of you. You can call out left spawn if you want, if you feel like there's someone actually in this hallway or up above. So watch left spawn is typical call out there. Nothing too crazy for that area. This whole building is called Theater, obviously, because it is the Meridian Theater. It's got movie posters and everything. Really easy to call out, and just upper and lower or upstairs, downstairs theater. Back here, this is the only thing that I call steps. So you can say right side steps if you want to be more specific, but steps, this is the only steps that you should be calling out, really, because the only other steps are inside the theater, and they're not like a constant fight. This area, however, there's a lot of defensive players who will post up here or at the top of the steps. So you can say top of steps, bottom of steps, etc. Statue is very obvious. Vendetta Statue right here. Anywhere around statue, left, right, back, forward. Basically, you can call back, right, left, forward of any of these and still be understood. This small area I don't have a great name for. I usually just call it the Symetra Nest, because this is where Symetra sets up the most frequently, but there's not really a consistent sniper spot, so Nest is what I usually call it. It's not the best name ever. Sorry about that one. I call this apartment, where the full health pack is, because basically it's the only area with any semblance of a home in this level. So apartment is the full heal area. These are just ledges. You can just say Widow on ledge, and then someone can quickly scan and look and see which ledge you're talking about. Ledge is just a really common call out. You can be more specific, obviously. You can say back of point. This is back of point here. Ledge, back of point. Or hallway, back of point. Nest again over there. I'm going to take this objective real quick. Windows, left window, right window. They're not actually windows, they're just open doorways on the sides of these buildings for some reason. I used to actually call them suicide, but no one got it, so windows it is. Left window, right window. Usually Widowmakers and Hanzos will post up in there. And this obviously is points. Teleporter spot, I'll show you in just a moment once this finishes capturing. I'll point out the heals. There is a full heal at left spawn back over there. There's a full heal in the lower theater. There's a small heal here. There's a small heal up at top of steps. There's one in the nest. It's a small heal as well. And there's a full heal in apartments back that way. Okay, so payload, I'm not even going to move it, actually, we'll just run ahead here. This area I like to call alley. It's the only thing that I call alley in this whole map, but it's this whole stretch. This whole stretch, basically, from back to finish, you can say alley close or back alley if they're farther back. But usually after you capture the payload, there'll be some scumbag McCrees hanging around here. Tracers like to flank around here, Reapers. So alley is perfect for that area. This is the bookstore. This whole area is the bookstore. It's got a small heal inside. This is bar. You can actually, usually this is just ledge, because by the time this area comes into play, the payload is in front of it, and it's the only real ledge that Widows or Bastions or anything post up on. There is this thing here, but you'll see it, so it doesn't actually have its own call out typically. Bar, yeah, inside here there's upstairs, downstairs, full heal inside. Finish going through the alley here. You can see another ledge. This is called subway. You can say in subway or above subway. Ledge, subway ledge is fine. This area I don't have a great name for. It's hard to describe, but you can call it pipes if you want to. I've heard it called that. Didn't really make sense to me at first, but typically this area won't come into play either until the payload's about right here, and you can just say behind payload and you'll look right up and see it. So again, context is pretty much everything in this game. The payload is the most important thing in the entire map, so if you need to quickly convey information, just yell out in relation to the payload so people can find it. If not everyone knows the names, it's going to be difficult to say. This room, for example, which is called kegs, this is actually for a bar, so there's just kegs lining the walls here. This whole room is called kegs. You can call this kegs ledge or just ledge again as the payload's around here. Usually this will start to come into play, so you can say right ledge, left ledge, back ledge, and so on. There's a small heal over here. This is where the attacker spawn moves to, so that's a new spawn. This area actually has kind of a unique name. I call it tubes because basically you're just running through metal. It just feels like you're in a bunch of tubing for some reason. I just call it tubes. And over here is boxes. So once the payload gets to this checkpoint right here, your spawn moves to new spawn. Left of payload is tubes, and right of payload is boxes. There's just a shit ton of boxes here and a full heal as well. Be sure to note that. Usually you can post up here. If I had my soldier ult and I was playing right now, I would just pop it and mow everyone down. This area I call Cubby. A cubby is just a small enclosed area, so cubby hole is actually the word, but call it Cubby. Any areas like this, as well as something like Anubis Point B, that little area right behind the point, I call Cubby as well. This area, for some reason, I just have never really had a call out. I think it's because typically it only comes into play when the payload is rounding this corner and everyone's looking ahead of the payload. So this is actually not a very common spot for people to be standing anyway. It usually only comes into play when you're chasing people. So I don't have really a great name for this area. If you have a suggestion, let me know with a reply. There is a heal pack over here, small heal, and a small heal over here. This area, obviously the last straightaway. Oh, I forgot one here. Nest. This is Nest. Sniper Nest. Widowmakers and Hanzos love to come up here. You can jump up there with a Winston, Diva, Pharah, anything, and just try to dislodge people out of the nest. And then you've got left ledge, which again, positioning is everything. I know left ledge by itself doesn't make a whole lot of context, make a whole lot of sense because there's so many ledges throughout the map, but again, you're never going to be here really until the payload is here, and then left ledge is just the most obvious. You've got right spawn, left spawn. Once you get about here, if you just want to fight, you just say watch spawns, and typically you'll jump on the payload, I'll pop my ult, and just aim down the hallways here. So that's basically it. There's this is back of point. I would normally call this a cubby, but the other one is more important. The other cubby's more important because there's a full heal in there. Typically, you don't have a ton of people hiding and waiting in here. Junkrat sometimes will kind of bounce out and launch stuff out. Sometimes a Bastion will sit way back here, but then a Reinhardt pin usually just kills him. So Bastions tend to stay up near the spawns or actually right around the walls here to catch you by surprise. So that's basically it for King's Row. The most common callouts are left and right spawn, cubby, tubes. Boxes is pretty obvious. Normally you'll see them running around in there. Ledges are pretty obvious. You'll see them most of the time. Subway. Kegs was that room again up here, down this hallway. Bar up and down. Bar ledge. Alley. Bookstore. Again, this is just the first nest. Usually I call it a nest because there's Symetra turrets all up in it. Symetra's great on defense on this map. Apartments. Payload secured. Statue. This is point until you capture it. Theater, up and down, upstairs, downstairs, and steps is basically all you need. You can say front close ledge, something like that just to describe it, but basically if you call out a ledge and someone scans quickly and doesn't see anything, then she's moved. I mean, ledge is totally descriptive enough. Look at this. No team won, so no team in the portrait there, and I guess capping point A is probably going to be the play of the game, because it's the only thing that awards any points. I'm on fire, though. Alright, anyway, that's King's Row. Thanks very much, guys. Again, if you have suggestions for areas of this map, totally just leave a reply. Otherwise, please spread the word. Maybe people will actually adopt some of these names, and if not, that's cool too. Just sharing with you guys the names that I've been using for my experience through closed beta, open beta, and launch. Thanks so much, guys. See you next time.